PaRappa, we are bringing here because you kickstarted the rhythm genre, and we're proud to get it on the PS4. There's just a little problem.
Well, just gotta believe then. What's the problem?
Simply something you can't fix by believing. You're just too rough.
Uh,
To put out the PS4, I must need you to be 4K.
At least I think that's what happens in the Sony office, right? No. You were expecting to get a facelift on this, right?
Yup, they should make me extra beautiful.
Well, I don't think that happened.
What am I looking at? My mouth looks like a Nike logo. My eyes are soulless. And what have I done to PaRappa?
PaRappa The Rapper needs no introduction at all. It's fun, it's wacky, it's
old as fuck.
So, Sony in a fine business decision is like, hey, let's remaster this game for the new and older audience and release it on the PS4. And God Almighty, it's a terrible sell. Listen. I'm not here to nag about how remasters are different, like totally different from the original. That's not a bad thing. It could introduce new fans to the game in a higher resolution, but also doing the same thing for the older audience that already seen the game but now in a higher fidelity. The problem is, this remaster sucks ass. I haven't played the remaster, sadly, so some things in here might be inaccurate and you guys can comment down below for that. But from what I've seen and heard about this remaster, there's a lot of stuff that I could get into. I am gonna condense a lot of the problems in this video, so it's not gonna be an hour long, as you can see. It's just that a lot of these problems pile up to make this remaster not worth it. Sure, you get HD textures in widescreen, but there's still problems, you know? First flaw of the remaster, the cutscenes. Cutscenes in PaRappa The Rapper are just video files, that much is obvious. They obviously have to be compressed and all, but there's still a lot of information detail, which makes them look very sharp still to this day. But when they ported it to the PS4, they blurred everything.
Welcome to the Fruits Dojo.
For some reason, they thought this looks better. They probably denoised the cutscenes and then upscale it with some AI. But it looks so bad. Here's the same scene in the original version. Notice how there's so much more detail in the sharpness despite the resolution.
And oh my god, other cutscenes suffer from this fucking blurriness.
Whoever is managing the cutscenes, they don't know how to upscale or make them look better at all. But they're Sony. They could have contacted Ronnie or whoever made these cutscenes, right? They could just ask them about the master files or get a higher quality copy or anything than blurring it. A similar observation can be made about the audio quality. Just listen closely to these two versions.
Kick, punch, it's all in the mind. If you wanna test me, I'm sure you'll find the things I'll teach ya. Sure to beat ya. Nevertheless, you'll get a lesson from teacher. Now kick, punch, jump.
For some reason, the PS4 version sounds a bit worse. But it's not just because of the music. Listen to the sound mixing.
Kick, punch, jump. Chop, and block.
Notice how the sound effects in PaRappa's voice are just loud while the music is just almost too quiet. Compare this to the PS1 version.
Block. Once more now, kick.
The original version has a more natural sound mixing. Everything is almost at the same volume, and it's much more better in my opinion. The next point we're gonna discuss is just remastering the textures. The PS1 obviously cannot handle high quality textures, so they have to remaster everything. It's just done in the most unfaithful way possible. Despite the original having low resolution textures, they still have a source for them. Just take a look at the cutscenes. If you are familiar at looking at PaRappa The Rapper's textures, which is very easy to find, and then look at these cutscenes, you notice that the models in the cutscenes are probably higher quality. This is the only PaRappa The Rapper game where they animated the models by deforming them and controlling their proportions. You could say PaRappa The Rapper 2 did this as well, but their models look more polygonal. Just look at PaRappa's hat in the scene.
Water.
This matters because the original models are actually high quality. They just have to compress the textures for the PS1. But the PS4 completely ignores the source material. Of course it does. Every remastered texture looks like it was recorded sloppily. They have even redrawn the stage text textures, which shouldn't be the case. They have different textures in the original because they are lower resolution just to fit in the data. It's just so inconsistent. This is not the PaRappa you grew up with. This is PaRappa recreated soullessly. Speaking of soulless,
I'll just turn the TV off and rest.
your eyes aren't deceiving you. That indeed looks incorrect. Here's what the correct version looks like. Proper game preservation. Look at the top right for a second. You can't tell me that is intentional. Oh, and this thing. I just feel nothing. The screen and the subtitles appear at the same time as well. Nothing can save me. You can't tell me you can't port over rain or transparency or proper transitions? Look, you can tell me whatever. A remaster shouldn't be one-to-one to the original game. And sure, the original game has its bugs and quirks. But if the remaster is worse than the original game, what? Is it really a remaster? I've made this video just to point things out and share some awareness. You can like the remaster. You can even like it more than the original. I'm just torn down on it. I haven't even played it yet, and I even heard about the input lag and the new features being actually useless, and the bonus songs just sounding like stock tracks. But if it doesn't really matter to you, then good for you. I'm just here to make my point. This remaster sucks. Hello everyone, end of video here. Despite not being heavily edited, this video still took quite some time, and I'd really quite appreciate it if you could follow me on my misadventures and shitposts by clicking on the subscribe button. Or if you feel extra fancy, you can come into the Discord server and chat with some other people that likes my content. And to be honest, now that I'm mentioning these flaws in PaRappa The Rapper, I kind of don't want Sony to bother with it anymore. Sure, an Unjamalami remaster would be great, but I just don't think it will be worth it, seeing what have they done. And that's it. I hope you have a good rest of your day or night. I'll see you in the next video, whenever that comes out.